Hello friends, previous videos we talked about the three critical systems of the diesel engine, that is the fuel system. We discussed about the conventional fuel system and also the electronic fuel system, then the lubrication system and the cooling system. In this video I am going to talk about another critical system of the diesel engine, that is the air intake system of the 4-stroke turbocharged and aftercooler diesel engine. As discussed in the beginning of this video series, air is one among the three critical elements, that is air, fuel and friction. Three critical elements required to generate the power inside the combustion chamber. Considering the length of this subject, I split these videos into three parts, that is part A, part B and part C. In part A, I am going to explain about various factors contributing for the power generation, efficiency or power output of the engine. That is like the volumetric efficiency of the engine, displacement volume of the engine, then the compression ratio, fuel quality, etc. And in the next videos, that is part B, I am going to talk about the air intake system circuit of the diesel engine, which are all the components involved in that one and how they work. And in the last, that is part C, I am going to talk about the maintenance of the air system. Before going to the air intake system circuit, let us have a brief look about which are all the factors influencing the power generation inside the engine. This we have discussed the initial phase of these videos. To generate the power inside the engine, mainly three elements are required. One is the oxygen, second one is the friction, the third one is the fuel. Combining these three elements generate the heat energy or thermal energy inside the engine. How it happens? Oxygen from the atmosphere is drawn inside the cylinder due to the suction created by the piston during the suction stroke. Then both the valves are closed. Whatever is the air is drawn from the atmosphere cannot escape. So when the piston travels from BDC to TDC, air is compressed, and at the end of the compression stroke, air obtains certain amount of temperature or heat. So due to the rubbing of the air molecules to each other, so when it reaches the end of the compression stroke, fuel is injected in the atomization form, causing the hot air to burn and expand when that is called combustion. When the combustion takes place, this heat energy pushes the piston downwards. Then the downward movement of piston causes to rotate the crankshaft. Then again the exhaust valve is opened, and whatever the burnt gases are there inside the cylinder, they will be driven out through the movement of the piston from BDC to TDC. So like that, the power is generated with the combination of the three elements, that is oxygen, friction and fuel. When it comes to the oxygen content in the atmospheric air, 21% of the air contains the oxygen. 78% of the air contains the nitrogen. Oxygen is the one, this 21% is the one which is used to generate the power to burn the fuel. The balance 78% of the nitrogen is useful in generating the friction because of the rubbing of the nitrogen molecules each other. The balance 1% air having different gases in the air. Out of that, 0.03% is the carbon dioxide. Broadly, the amount of power generated inside the engine depending upon mainly three factors. The number one is the fuel quality. Number two is the displacement volume of the engine. Number three is the volumetric efficiency. What is fuel quality? Fuel quality means its calorific value. The calorific value means the amount of heat energy produced per unit mass of fuel. Example, diesel fuel calorific value is 10,800 kilocalories per kilogram of diesel. Then what is meant by the engine displacement volume? Engine displacement volume also is called the swept volume of the engine. We all will talk about the 250cc bike, 1400cc car engine, 1.5 liters car engine. 1.5 liters is nothing but the 1500cc. So this is called the volume. This is called the displacement volume of the engine. It is also called a swept volume of the engine. Okay. How this, what is meant by the displacement volume? Displacement volume is nothing but the volume covered by the piston during one stroke. Suppose the piston moves from TDC to BDC, and whatever the volume is covered by the piston, this dotted line, below dotted line, from here to here, it is called the stroke length of the piston. This is BDC, this is TDC. So whatever the volume is covered by the piston during one stroke is called the displacement volume of that particular cylinder. Suppose the total displacement volume of the engine equals to the displacement volume of each cylinder multiplied by the number of cylinders. This is the formula for the displacement volume. Example, an engine is having number of cylinders 4, and the cylinder, each cylinder bore is, that is D is diameter, is 10 centimeters. The piston stroke length, that is L, is 12 centimeters. The displacement volume formula is pi d square by 4, that is area of the cylinder, into length of the stroke, that is nothing but the stroke. N is nothing but the number of cylinders. So when you take this pi by 4, this is 0.786. 22 by 7 divided by again 4, right? 0.786 is the standard. D square is equal to T is 10 centimeters the diameter, 10 centimeters the diameter, 12 centimeters the stroke length, 4 is the number of cylinders. If you multiply all these things, the product is 3773 cubic centimeters, that is cc. So this particular engine displacement volume or swept volume is 3773 cubic centimeters. Now what is meant by the compression ratio? Compression ratio is nothing but this displacement volume plus the clearance volume, that is total volume of the cylinder above the BDC divided by the clearance volume. Normally the diesel engines compression ratio will be approximately 20:1. However, slightly differs from the engine to engine. Now let us go to the next topic, is the volumetric efficiency. This is very important, and it is very critical for the efficiency, overall efficiency of the engine. So what is meant by the volumetric efficiency? This is the ratio of the mass of the air drawn inside the cylinder during the suction stroke to the mass of the air in atmosphere to the identical volume. So how effectively, how efficiently atmospheric air is entering inside the engine. So which are all the factors affecting the volumetric efficiency? Number one is the aspiration type, means naturally aspirated engine or turbocharged engine. Naturally aspirated engine, the air will be drawn or sucked inside because of the suction created by the piston when it moves from TDC to BDC. Whereas in case of the turbocharged engine, in addition to the suction created by the piston, the air is pumped. It is called forced induction system. Air is forcibly pumped inside. You can see this. Air is forcibly pumped inside. Okay. Again, the next is the density of the air. The density of the air changes as per the altitude. Then next is the temperature of the air drawn inside the cylinder. When the air is heated, its density drops down. Okay, so here the air, when the air is forcibly inducted inside the engine, air gets heated here because of the swirling action of this turbocharger compressor wheel. So that's why here there is a another component called charge air cooler. Whatever the air is heated here is cooled here to regain the air density. So temperature one of the factors influencing the volumetric efficiency. Then the intake flow channel. See this piping, whatever is there, intake piping. Suppose it is having certain engines will be having very smooth bends and very less bend. Some engines will be having very sharp bends. When there is a sharp bend, there will be restriction to the airflow. That's why the intake channel or intake piping also influences or affects the amount of air pumped inside the cylinder. Next is the speed of the engine. As the speed is increased, okay, the duration, the time of the air travel will be reduced. So speed also affects the amount of air drawn inside the cylinder. These are all the factors affecting or influencing the volumetric efficiency of the engine. The volumetric efficiency of the natural aspirated engine varies from 75% to 100% depending upon the engine design. For example, side camshaft engines will be having approximately 75% or 80% volumetric efficiency. If it is a double overhead camshaft engine means the push rods are eliminated and so many linkages in the valve train are eliminated. So the effectiveness of the opening of the valves is improved due to the overhead camshaft design. So if it is a double overhead camshaft engine, in the double overhead camshaft engine, normally each cylinder will be having 4 valves, that is 2 inlet valves and 2 exhaust valves. So the air passage increased. So compared to any other model of the engine, DOHC valve engines have the more volumetric efficiency. So when it comes to the forced induction, that is turbocharged and aftercooler engines, their volumetric efficiency ranges from 85 to up to 140% it goes because air is being forcibly inducted inside through the help of the turbocharger. This is about the volumetric efficiency. Then one more then comes to the air fuel ratio. We'll also have a look upon the air fuel ratio, which again affects the efficiency of the engine or power output of the engine. What is meant by the air fuel ratio? Air fuel ratio is the mass of the air drawn inside the cylinder to the mass of the fuel injected during the combustion. So friends, let us have a look again on this air fuel ratio. The blue portion indicates this 14.5 parts indicates the air and this orange or red one indicates the fuel. So for every 14.5 parts of the air, if the fuel is 1 part, it is called the ideal air fuel ratio for the diesel engine. So what happens if the fuel ratio varies? If the air quantity less and the fuel quantity more, that is any ratio less than 14.5:1, it is called the rich fuel mixture. So what are the effects of the rich fuel mixture? Incomplete burning of oxygen, excess black smoke, engine overheating, engine knocking sounds, excess pollutants in the exhaust gases, high fuel consumption. Let's have a look about the effects of the lean fuel mixture. The fuel mixture, anything beyond 14.5:1, that is more air and less fuel. That helps in complete burning of the oxygen and effective use of the fuel. Less emissions, low fuel consumption. But Too lean mixtures gives problems like engine starting, poor engine power, etc.